Every meteorologist in America is staring at the same terrifying forecast, and most people have absolutely no idea what's coming. 3 feet of snow just obliterated Michigan, and that's literally just the opening act of the most brutal winter event in years. The polar vortex that's diving into the United States right now is carrying enough Arctic fury to rewrite weather history. Cities from Atlanta to Boston are about to experience something that happens maybe once in a generation. I need you to comment your location immediately because what I'm revealing could literally determine your family's safety. While you're doing that, let me paint the picture of what's already unfolding across the northern United States. Winds are howling across the Great Plains at over 70 miles per hour, creating an atmospheric freight train of Arctic devastation. Michigan's Upper Peninsula has transformed into an absolute winter hellscape, with zero visibility conditions killing visibility instantly. Snow squalls are dropping 6 inches in 30 minutes, then vanishing, then striking again like meteorological lightning. What's driving this chaos is a tropospheric polar vortex positioned like a weapon aimed directly at North America. Imagine Hudson Bay as the command center for the most powerful ice machine nature has ever constructed. The truly terrifying part? This isn't one Arctic blast. It's multiple waves getting progressively more dangerous. Tuesday, January 21st, delivers the knockout punch, with life-threatening conditions stretching from Canada to the Gulf Coast. But before we get to that nightmare scenario, let me break down what's about to happen region by region. The Southeast is first up, and they're completely unprepared for what's about to hit them. Atlanta hasn't seen significant snow in years, yet they could wake up to a white Christmas in January. Birmingham and Charlotte are dancing on the edge of either historic snowfall or crushing disappointment. The margin for error is literally 1 degree, the difference between 6 inches and just cold rain. Virginia's getting hit first, with the Appalachian Mountains setting up for a legitimate snow emergency tomorrow. Richmond could see 8 to 15 inches, while Norfolk and Virginia Beach face their first major snow in years. North Carolina is in the crosshairs, with Raleigh and Charlotte potentially facing their biggest event since 2018. The entire Piedmont region, including Greensboro and Winston-Salem, could disappear under heavy, wet snow. South Carolina rarely sees snow, but Columbia might get their first measurable accumulation in 3 years. Georgia could experience something biblical, with Augusta and Savannah seeing snowflakes for the first time since 2018. Jacksonville, Florida is even in the conversation for snowflakes. When did you last hear that sentence? Now transitioning to the Mid-Atlantic, where the setup is becoming absolutely perfect for historic accumulations. Washington, D.C. and Baltimore are positioned for potentially their biggest snowfall since that legendary 2016 blizzard. The Chesapeake Bay region, including Annapolis, could see 10 to 18 inches if storm development goes perfectly. Delaware sits in the sweet spot, with Dover and Wilmington potentially receiving massive accumulations. New Jersey is perfectly positioned, with Trenton and Princeton potentially getting buried under historic totals. Atlantic City might witness more snow than they've seen in a single storm for over a decade. Northern New Jersey, including Newark and Jersey City, could see 12 to 20 inches if atmospheric conditions align. Here's where I need your honest opinion. Tell me in the comments if you're praying for this snow or absolutely dreading it. Because what's developing for the Northeast could be even more spectacular than everything I've described so far. Philadelphia and New York City are positioned in the perfect zone for massive accumulations if this tracks offshore. We're discussing the type of nor'easter that paralyzes airports, cancels schools, and dominates news cycles. Boston could witness their most significant snowfall since those historic 2015 blizzards that buried the entire region. Connecticut is beautifully positioned, with Bridgeport and New Haven potentially seeing absolutely massive totals. Hartford could receive 15 to 25 inches if this storm develops according to current computer projections. Massachusetts sits in the bullseye, with Springfield and Worcester potentially getting completely buried. Providence, Rhode Island could experience their most significant snow event since that 2013 blizzard. Maine won't escape either. Portland and Bangor could see incredible amounts if tracking continues northward. Vermont could get caught, with Burlington and Montpelier potentially receiving significant northwestern edge impacts. Albany and New York's capital region could see 12 to 20 inches if development proceeds correctly. Now let me explain the absolutely mind-blowing science that's orchestrating this entire atmospheric catastrophe. A colossal 1,040 millibar Arctic high-pressure system is constructing itself. That's genuinely off the charts. This Arctic air mass is so incredibly dry that any moisture encounter creates explosive snowfall potential. The catalyst triggering everything is a Pacific Ocean heat wave phenomenon called a Kelvin wave. This heat source is actively reorganizing continental atmospheric flow patterns in real time as we speak. Around January 22nd, subtropical moisture streams will collide head-on with our entrenched Arctic air. The result creates textbook perfect storm conditions along the I-95 corridor that could become meteorological legend. Meanwhile, the Midwest is getting absolutely pummeled from every conceivable direction simultaneously. Chicago, Minneapolis, Milwaukee, and Detroit are facing the most brutal cold temperatures in years. Lake effect snow will be completely relentless, with Cleveland and Akron positioned for mind-boggling accumulations. Toledo and Youngstown could experience their worst Lake Erie lake effect snow in years. Western Michigan cities like Grand Rapids and Kalamazoo face continuous lake effect through February. Indiana locations including Fort Wayne and South Bend could get trapped in multiple converging snow bands. Indianapolis and Cincinnati are positioned for numerous clipper systems delivering significant accumulating snow. Ohio cities like Columbus and Dayton could receive substantial snow from both clippers and nor'easter overflow. Kentucky cities including Louisville and Lexington sit directly on multiple winter weather threat boundaries. Tennessee cities like Nashville and Memphis could finally see their first meaningful snow of the season. Prepare to have your mind completely blown by what happens when this Arctic siege finally ends. Around January 31st, we'll witness the most dramatic temperature reversal you've ever experienced. I'm describing a transition from Arctic brutality to 60-degree spring-like weather within days. Don't be fooled into thinking winter surrenders because this warming episode sets up February's madness. February's second half could deliver another complete atmospheric flip with massive mountain snow returning. This becomes the Mountain West's moment for potentially historic and season-saving snowfall. Colorado cities like Denver, Colorado Springs, and Fort Collins could transition from drought to epic snow. Boulder in the Front Range might finally receive the consistent snowfall they've desperately awaited. Colorado ski destinations like Vail, Aspen, and Steamboat Springs could see absolutely season-saving powder. Utah sits perfectly positioned, with Salt Lake City and Park City potentially buried under feet of snow. The Wasatch Mountains, including Provo and Ogden, might experience their snowiest February in over a decade. New Mexico could find relief, with Albuquerque and Santa Fe receiving significant snow after drought conditions. Arizona's Flagstaff and the Colorado Plateau might get absolutely buried under multiple feet of snow. If Alaska blocking develops successfully, another Arctic invasion could make this current event look mild. California's Sierra Nevada could get completely buried, ending one of history's worst mountain drought. Lake Tahoe and Mammoth Mountain could transform from complete disaster to epic conditions within weeks. Sacramento and Fresno might actually witness snow in valley floors if patterns become extreme enough. Nevada cities like Reno and Carson City are positioned for potentially historic mountain snow enhancement. The Pacific Northwest faces its own dramatic transformation as atmospheric patterns completely reorganize. Seattle, Tacoma, and Olympia might transition from mild Pacific conditions to legitimate Arctic invasions. Oregon cities like Portland and Eugene could experience 30 to 40 degree temperature drops. Washington's Spokane and Idaho's Boise are positioned for significant snowfall as patterns shift dramatically. The Plain States deserve special attention because they're receiving punishment from multiple directions. North Dakota cities, including Fargo and Grand Forks, face potentially life-threatening wind chill situations. Bismarck and Minot could experience some of their coldest temperatures in years with dangerous conditions. South Dakota's Sioux Falls and Rapid City are positioned for multiple successive Arctic air waves. Nebraska cities like Omaha and Lincoln could see several significant snow events from clipper systems. Iowa's Des Moines and Cedar Rapids face potentially dangerous travel conditions lasting for weeks. Missouri's Kansas City and Kansas's Topeka could experience their most sustained winter cold. Kansas's Wichita and Oklahoma's Oklahoma City might even receive snow from unusually southern Arctic penetration. Arkansas's Little Rock and Louisiana's Shreveport sit on southern edges of potential winter impacts. Texas cities are bracing for their own version of Arctic punishment that could prove genuinely dangerous. Dallas and Fort Worth could see temperature drops to levels not experienced in recent years. Houston, San Antonio, and Austin might face freezing temperatures threatening critical infrastructure systems. El Paso and Lubbock could receive significant snow if moisture timing aligns with Arctic air. This is the moment where I absolutely require your immediate participation and engagement. Drop your precise location and describe your primary concern about this approaching weather apocalypse. Are you desperately hoping for epic snow days or terrified about extended power outages? Describe your specific circumstances, commuting requirements, elderly relatives, preparation status. Cities receiving the most requests will get comprehensive emergency breakdowns that could save lives. I'll provide personal responses with detailed timing, accumulation forecasts, and safety protocols. Apartment residents and urban dwellers must secure emergency supplies because this could persist for days. Rural communities require special preparation because road crews might not reach you during blizzard conditions. Truckers and long-distance travelers should completely avoid impact zones or risk extended dangerous situations. Air travelers must expect catastrophic delays and cancellations throughout the eastern seaboard and Midwest. Educational institutions are developing emergency protocols because this could disrupt millions of students. Utility companies are strategically positioning repair crews because ice and snow threaten electrical systems. Emergency responders are preparing for increased accidents and medical emergencies during peak dangerous conditions. If this comprehensive forecast just revealed the magnitude of what's approaching, smash that like button now. Subscribe and enable notifications because when storms arrive, every update becomes potentially life-saving intelligence. Share this throughout your region because people require advance warning for their specific locations. This polar vortex event will rewrite winter weather history books, requiring comprehensive preparation from everyone. We're tracking every development continuously, and missing updates could prove dangerous for families. Whether confronting emergency travel or planning extended outages, maintaining weather awareness is critical. The atmosphere is orchestrating the most intense winter sequence witnessed in recent years. Continue returning for updates because this pattern evolves constantly and information saves lives. Winter is demonstrating its ultimate power, requiring comprehensive preparation for approaching conditions. The most dangerous and historically significant winter phase is commencing, promising brutal conditions. Remain safe, stay informed, and prepare for the complete weather revolution transforming everything. This represents the type of weather pattern people will discuss for decades, witnessed in real time. Remember to return for updates because conditions evolve rapidly, with new threats developing continuously. The polar vortex revolution commences immediately, with comprehensive preparation critical for universal safety. This unprecedented pattern will test everything known about winter weather preparedness and survival techniques. Stay alert, stay prepared, and remember that knowledge becomes life-saving when nature unleashes maximum fury.